Yeah, we are again. You never know what a button does, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Wow, this is fun. Sorry, sorry, man.
Co computers, computers,
Com
you know.
computers sometimes work. Um,
There's this Golang related blog. I don't know if you heard about it, but there's a I mean it's a basically rant about Golang and some of the internal stuff, but there's a super nice couple of sentences there, and it basically says that 9 out of 10 engineers wonder how everything actually even works.
yeah, exactly. The more you know how things work, the more you're amazed it actually does work.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly the sentiment of that statement in the blog. All
Same
right.
things with cars, right? They have so many components, and it only takes one of these components to fail for your car to not work. And it's amazing how many kilometers you can get out of a car before it breaks, right?
Yeah. All
Not
right,
sure
let's
everybody
try
knows they
again.
can join again. Yeah, it's just five of us here. I think it was 12 people before the call dropped. Ah, more people are joining. Okay, let's give them a minute.
All right, where was I?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
right,
this
right
slide,
about
I think,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Uh, I mean, we all know that GitHub stars is a kind of vanity metric, but then again, it shows the community activities at least in some way and form. So at least we've seen pretty steady growth in the GitHub stars, and I think we're now like close to 7K if I remember correctly. Didn't really check it like in a couple of weeks. A lot of adoption that we've seen, and Prithvi, who was in the call but seems to be now dropped out. Prithvi has been doing the preparation for work for the incubation. The what are they called? These end user interviews. Uh, and we're gonna have some of these names interviewed also. Yeah, that's a quick update on the or quick-ish updates from the K0's product side of things, and I guess I'd summarize it in a way that since the sandboxing we've been getting a lot more active community involvement in various ways and forms, and hope to get the incubation and even grow more on that front.
Very
That's a
cool.
great progress.
Yeah.
May I
It's
ask, what are the two companies that are supporting maintainers to KZRS?
Uh,
Obviously, I guess Mirantis, but
that's a good guess. So it's Mirantis and Replicated. So Replicated is using K0s in one of their projects. I think it's actually open source called Embedded Cluster. So it's basically a way to embed the cluster and your application in a kind of appliance of sorts. And they are helping us maintainers too. I mean, obviously
very
they
cool.
have a decent interest in the project for a reason. So
Yeah, makes sense. And where did the need for the Windows nodes came out? What kind of projects are you guys running there that made you guys work on it?
so uh so sorry, a couple of minute history on the Windows side of things. So we actually introduced Windows support in, I think it was like 123 or something, but it was like super experimental, and we didn't have a CI for it running. So you can guess what happens when you don't have CI running for something. So it kind of rottens away. And then there was actually in the past like year or so, there was some asks from the community side of things that could we actually make it work again, and obviously Mirantis also has some interest in Windows side of things, so that's basically the driver for it. And it was somewhat surprising to talk about that with the community people at the project booth in KubeCon. It's interestingly there's actually a lot of interest on that. I was surprised how many people are actually interested on that stuff.
I would expect it. I've gotten quite a few times question if Kairos can run on Windows, which would be quite a crazy challenge, being kind of like meta Linux distribution. But yeah, I think there is quite some interest from the community to do that. Yeah.
Yep. And right after we announced that the Windows stuff actually works again, basically the next question was that can we get Cosmotron also supported so that you can get Windows nodes through Cluster API? And there's actually, it's not even a PR level yet, but I've seen a demo where it actually works, which is kind of like mind-boggling in a way that all these Linux Kubernetes stuff and Kubernetes in Kubernetes with Cluster API and all those kind of things, and voila, you have Windows nodes popping up. It's like, okay, it's pretty cool.
Very interesting. And is it related to the Windows subsystem Linux mechanism that it can work, or is completely independent? Okay.
No, it's like pure Windows.
Got it.
And you run Windows containers there, you don't run Linux containers there. So it's really Windows stuff.
Cool.
Which
Thanks
is completely another story how that works and what it is. And
yeah.
Are people doing gaming in Kubernetes nowadays? Well, what is it?
I mean, what I got from the community discussions at KubeCon was basically there seemed to be like couple different patterns. One, which is kind of obvious, legacy. I mean, there's a lot of legacy stuff in big corporations still running on Windows, which require their own ways of operations and management and all that stuff. So if they could actually shove them in a Kubernetes cluster to get kind of like standardized operational model, that would be super, super good. The other thing is that even though you can probably port most of the Windows like .NET, ASP, whatnot stuff to Linux nowadays, while that's technically possible, in practice, in many cases it's actually not. Many of those let's call them applications. Many of them have dependencies to other Windows stuff. So it's think of it like kind of like an octopus. You take a hold of its head and start to pull, and there's like tentacles still stuck somewhere in the ground, right? And also think about industries like healthcare. If you port your whole application from Windows to Linux, you probably have to recertify everything, which means a lot of time, a lot of money. Is that really like doable? Probably not. So having the ability to run the exact same application stack on managed by Kubernetes and still run actually on Windows, that makes a lot of sense. Those were the few examples that I picked from the community discussions. So
Only the worker nodes can be Windows, if I remember from the slide, or can it also be the control plane?
no,
Or,
workers
or
only.
it doesn't matter. Okay.
Workers
Why
only.
would you do the control plane? Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's something that we've discussed with some of the maintainers that we don't really see. If you look at Kubernetes documentation, it says that it's workers only on Windows. But then again, it's basically API server, which is Golang, scheduler, which is Golang, and basically everything is Golang. I don't see a reason why you couldn't actually run everything on Windows on the control plane side too, but some of the guys had an idea to actually trade out, but let's see if that ever happens.
Good job.
Thanks.
Do we have time for another one? For how long is this scheduled? An hour?
An hour. I moved it for the next month. I guess that makes more sense. But it's also the 4th, which means we're in configuration management camp. So maybe I change it even a bit further. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, now that the meeting time has changed, I think the the Zoom is gonna last longer, but wanted to respect everyone's time as well today. So yeah, if you'd like to reschedule, happy to have you back whenever it makes sense for you guys.
Thanks.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you so much. And thanks to the Cubelasti folks, Raman, Shubham.
Thank you. Yeah, thank
Have a
you.
nice day, everyone. Ciao.
Right.
Nice.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
See you later.
See you.